Eli Lilly boosted its revenue guidance for the full year, citing strong demand for, big shocker here, GLP-1 drugs, Mounjaro and Zepbound. Bloomberg's Madison Muller covers the sector. She joins us now. Eli Lilly earlier today hitting a record high for a second, still up more than 5% on the day, on a down day as well. What's going well right now?
Yeah, so it's interesting because when you look at Eli Lilly's drug sales sort of across the board, they missed revenue estimates for this quarter. And on a lot of their major key drugs, they also missed sales estimates. But the one thing that they have going really well is Zepbound, their obesity drug that, we've talked about so much on the show and is all over the place. We hear something new about it every day. But there was some concern because Zepbound has been in shortage and their diabetes drug Mounjaro has also been in shortage. Going into earnings this quarter, there was some concern that revenue was going to miss for Zepbound due to these supply shortages. And so what we're seeing in the market is sort of reflecting this, not only relief from investors that things are going well, but also optimism because Lilly gave a little bit more visibility into what supply will look like the rest of the year and obviously boosted its revenue guidance for the full year. So investors were optimistic about that.
New guidance, how much of it is supported by them being able to kind of fix up some of these supply challenges versus the other thing we have been talking about a lot, that there are new potential uses for Zepbound and GLP-1.
Right. So one of the things Lilly is looking at right now, and they expect to file with the FDA by mid-year, Zepbound in sleep apnea. So that's something that could potentially help widen access through Medicare because Medicare, like we've talked about, doesn't cover obesity drugs. So having another indication like sleep apnea could expand it to even more patients. And they are seeing a significant improvement in supply, at least that's what they're saying, in the second half of the year and then into early 2025 as they have more and more plants coming online that are going to start producing these drugs. So part of it is widening access, more insurers covering the drugs, hopefully, and then also just more supply coming online.
What are the risks at this point? Is it a competitive risk when it comes to moats, or is it a paying for the service risk here? If you think about insurance, where are the biggest concerns among investors?
Yeah, the biggest concern among investors was really this supply challenge and being able to meet the seemingly endless demand for these drugs. And what Lilly said is that they don't actually have manufacturing or supply issues. The problem is that there is just a finite amount of manufacturing capacity for these injectable medicines. And so what they're having to do is really build new capacity into the system, and that takes a little bit of time to come online. And so one of the risks is, if those plants aren't able to come online as quickly as Eli Lilly would like, that's something that could be a problem. But really the competition is viewed as something that's only going to expand this market. And talking to Bloomberg Intelligence this morning, they were saying that their $80 billion estimate for sales of anti-obesity medications reaching $80 billion by 2030 actually looks conservative at this point.